I'm doing 50 and a whatever, right? It's like 60 minimum, I think, 65 max, something like that. But I'm doing like 50 and it feels like I'm doing 60. I'm in a comfortable speed for me. And I got a pretty heavy foot, you know. I have a pretty heavy foot, so I drive almost everything with a good bit of speed. You know, it can be a truck, a car, a little bit of car, big truck, it don't matter. I drive everything kind of fast, so I was surprised, and the reason why that stood out to me so much was because of the fact that I do have a tendency to drive faster than the speed limit. But have you ever noticed how when there's other cars on the freeway? Because this is what dawned on me. I say, well, is it that I like driving fast? Or is it that it's something about the other cars that influenced me to drive fast? I remember one time a person was, you know, riding. I had a friend that was riding with me some years back, and she say, it's like you didn't want to let that car pass you up. I don't think that was the case. I don't think that that was the case. However, I can't wholeheartedly 100% say that something about that isn't true. Because this is one thing I realized last night, is that when we are driving sometimes somewhere by ourselves, you know, moving at a pace that we're comfortable with, something about someone else's pace, whenever we mess around and compare our pace to someone else's pace, it'll cause us to either do one or two things. Either we're going to go slower, or we're going to go faster, or we're going to go the same speed. There's one or three things, right? And it just made me really think about when I made a video once time talking about how we, you know, we have this thing about measuring things with other things, with external things, measuring ourselves, measuring others by other external things, just so on and so forth, right? And how I said that, you know, it had to be something wrong with that, how it couldn't be right to do that, to measure ourselves or other people by, you know, external things, but instead like us being our own individual opponent. Like last night I'm driving, and I'm driving at a speed that's comfortable for me. If I chose to drive faster, it would have been solely because I felt like driving faster. And if I chose like driving slower, it would have been because I felt like driving slower. But it's sometimes like, let's just say like if a car riding behind you and it's just riding your back, it's either telling you to move or drive faster, right? Sometimes I may move, sometimes I may not, sometimes I may cause that car to drive around me. But my point is that it's funny how we subconsciously compare what we doing by what other people are doing. And that comparison will either cause us to shift what we doing to match what they're doing, or to shift what we do and do less than what we was doing. Or if one is comfortable where they are, they're going to continue to do and move along as they move along. And for me, I guess my whole point is that the real significance that I grabbed out of that was that when you are comfortable where you stand and what you're doing, in the pace and in the way that you're doing it, sometimes you may have to remind yourself that sometimes we get caught up again subconsciously, instinctively comparing ourselves to things outside of ourselves, other people and other things, measuring ourselves by these things. Maybe I should move faster, maybe I should move slower, based on external things, opposed to how you feel. Are you comfortable at what you're doing, at the pace that you're doing it in? Are you comfortable? Are you satisfied in what you're doing? Is it getting you what you want? Right? When we are comfortable where we stand, we won't even be affected by what everybody else is doing. I believe that whenever, one of the reasons why we're so concerned about what everybody else is doing is because when certain things catch your attention, hold up now, when certain things catch your attention, that is only because it is like reflecting a certain insecurity or discomfort in yourself. Look, that because actually that wasn't even what I was talking about, but that come out in this little talk. So the thing is that when other things catch your attention, when other things is able to catch your attention, it's only because you're not being comfortable at the speed and pace that you're traveling. You're not comfortable doing what you're doing. You're not comfortable in either not doing nothing, or you're not even comfortable in what you're getting out of what you're doing. So now you're looking around and trying to see, well, what is he getting, and how is he getting that, and how is she getting it, and how is she getting that, and, you know, do I need to do what he doing, or do what she doing, or what, you know? That's what causes us to compare. So whenever you find yourself comparing what you're doing, the way you're looking at things, the way you are moving and so on, when you find yourself doing that, you have to ask yourself, why? Are you doing it because you want to be better? And so that's why you're comparing, because you're striving to be better, and you know you aren't comfortable where you are because you're not at your best. You really know you can do better. And so other people, when they like inspire you, or they just give you different ideas that make you, sometimes that is the case, and that is a healthy position. But sometimes when you ask yourself, why is that getting my attention? Why am I, worried or pained? Why did that just really grab my attention like that? Why what he or she is doing in the way they moving, why did it grab my attention? When you ask yourself that and you come back to an answer that you can't answer, then 9 times out of 10 is because it isn't that you are seeking for productive reason. It's because you are lost in your position. You are lost in your position. And you're really looking for guidance your damn self. You're not comfortable where you stand. You don't know who you are. You don't know, where you even going. I heard TD say it's a what you call it, a mind that's aimless, without direction. It's void of direction and aim. You just there, just floating with whatever go on. That means you have to concentrate and focus and decide what you want to do. But my point is, when something has got your attention and caused you to either move faster or slow down, to change up your pace or in the way that you're doing what you do, ask yourself why. You're not comfortable.